You looked so surprised to see me.
I was surprised.
All the color drained out of your face.
I had no idea you were coming out here.
I didn't know myself until yesterday. Turns out we were getting in so late I wouldn't even see you.
Well, if you open your eyes now, you'll see me.
I bet all the team rooms face the courtyard.
Always. Football players spend hours looking to the courtyards, hoping that we might see something.
Do you ever?
Never. 10 seasons of wasted hours. You know, I love San Francisco. When I was a rookie, we were having a bad season. We couldn't move the ball, we couldn't score. But then we came here and scored 5 touchdowns, 3 of which I got myself. And after that, we were all right.
Is the number of touchdowns how you tell if you like a city?
I don't know, but I hate Chicago because of the Bears. And I never felt comfortable in Cleveland.
I like San Francisco too.
It's the hills, the bridges, the views that you like.
More than that, I like it because when I was in college, we would drive up here to play California and Sanford. They're across the bay.
Were you a cheerleader?
No. I was just a girl in college, and climbing into old rickety cars was the thing to do. One time we went to this game at Berkeley, and afterwards we went to a Fiji party at the Phi Gamma Delta fraternity house. All the girls wore cellophane skirts and the guys wore bathing suits and ate pineapples off the floor till I set some girl's skirt on fire. Afterwards, I slept at the Berkeley chapter of my sorority and drove home on Sunday. College was a silly time. Seems you're always hoping for dates with boys that would probably never ask and trying to avoid the ones you didn't like but knew they were going to ask anyway. The worst part was hoping against all hope to be the Rose Bowl queen.
Were you Rose Bowl queen?
There were 16 princesses my year. We all had our own floats and they paraded us across the field at halftime. Only the queen's float was twice as grand as ours. When all the floats came together in a cluster, there was Judy on her throne, lording over us, smirking.
Still rankles, doesn't it?
I was so humiliated. I was so much prettier than her. I hated her. Seems so silly now, but it was so important then.
You know, football players don't converse much about sex. Did you know that?
I'm not surprised.
What is that supposed to mean?
I knew some of them in college.
They tend to maul you less than other boys?
Much less. They even gave me an inferiority complex.
Almost.
Well, we'd wait for them after the games and all go off to parties and things. Always big groups and always very platonic. I always felt like they were more interested in being with each other than in being with girls. Most of them were shy when you were alone with them. But I had a lot of pleasant nights, but nothing very exciting.
You know, I'm glad to hear that. I always wondered if Texas was different or something. They always seem wary of making the wrong move with a girl. I guess the religious influence in football is still very strong. I think that has something to do with it.
Those Catholic colleges seem to have all the wonderful teams.
Are you Catholic?
No.
We say the Lord's Prayer every 5 minutes before we take the field. I don't know who started it. It happened when Drew became coach. He and the other coaches would leave out of the locker room, leaving us players alone. And for a moment, no one says anything. Then someone would cough or drag their cleat across the floor. Then Joe Morris, the defensive captain, would say something like, "We gotta beat these guys, Big Red." Then everybody would holler and they'd join hands and say the Lord's Prayer.
I think that's sweet.
I know it helped us play better. The team spirit was always very intense during that prayer. It's the most religious experience I've ever had.
You're a very nice man.
And cut. Very nice.